So collecting payment is actually pretty easy to do, right? 99% of the customers just say that we do online billing. We can send them out an invoice over an email. They click a button and they pay online, right? The problem with that is that right now, they can't enter a tip themselves when they go to pay, right? And so we came up with a solution for that that also helps you confirm the work for the customer, right? At the bottom of this form, which I'm going to show you here in just a little bit, there's a place to put a tip amount. So once I get into that, I'll explain a little bit more. So anyways, when you go to explain to the customer, there's nothing to explain, right? You get done with the work, everybody's really expecting to pay, right? So you usually not even have to ask. They're gonna say something along the, how would you like to be paid? Number one preferred way is by check. Also doing it by Visa is preferred. I try not to take cash if we can avoid it, just because of the fact that, it might end up in your car, and your car might end up, on the street. Maybe you forgot to lock it. Now what do? The cash got stolen, right? So I'd rather not even deal with the issue, and preferably not take cash. We also accept Venmo. The handle is at katiescarpetcare.com, or not .com, at katiescarpetcare. Anyways, so, if you're walking out the door and, they forget to say something, right? And you have to ask politely what to say. Just simply say something like, just to confirm, have you already taken care of payment through the booking system when you ordered? Most of the time, they'll probably say, oh yeah, we already got that. So nothing to worry about there. If not, then I'm sure they're going to start volunteering ways to pay at that point. So if they do want to pay right there in person with their credit card, what you'll end up needing to do is to create a link to pay. So there is a way in your mobile app to be able to do that. And once I get into explaining the workflow process in the mobile app, you'll learn how to do that. So if for some reason they want to record that credit card process, there's a link. If they don't have any payment ready, say no problem at all, you can still pay online later today. So just kind of, get the gauge of the situation and go from there. If you accept tips or refreshments, which are offered, then don't forget to say thank you, right? But never, ever, ever hint for a tip. And that's really important, right? Another really important thing is to not accept material gifts. And there's a really specific reason for that, right? We do a lot of work out in Sun City, and sometimes our customers are pretty heavily medicated, right? And so let's say you admire a lawn gnome of theirs out back, right? And they give it to you. They say, oh my gosh, honey, here, go ahead and take it. Please take it. And you accept it, and you put it in the back seat of your car. And lady then thinks later, where's my lawn gnome, right? And she thinks it's stolen, so she calls security and says, uh-oh, it's stolen. Well, guess who the last person at their house was that was admiring their lawn gnome? That was you. We don't want to end up in that situation. Don't take material goods. Be extra cautious of perception of people, and what they may think you're doing with the money, right? So people who want to pay in cash and expect to, take some off the bill, we don't do that, right? There's no benefit to us, and we have to pay our taxes. So, that's about it.